Hi, my name is Shreyas and I'm going to teach you how to make your resume in Google Docs. Let's go. So first things first, go into your Google Drive on your PC and right click and select Google Docs. So it's going to open up a new Google document. I'm going to name my document my full name. So that's Shreyas CU. It's a good practice to name your resume just your full name instead of resume 1, resume 2. It's easier for the recruiter to go through your resume like that. The first thing I want to do is go into file and page setup and change my top margin to 0.1, bottom to 0.1 and left to 0.3 and 0.3. I'm doing this so that my resume looks full and there's no wastage of space in my resume. Okay, I'm gonna insert a table first. So I'm gonna insert a table of 2 columns. In the first column, I'm gonna give my name, Shreyas CU. In this column, I'm gonna put all the links that I want to, including my LinkedIn, my mail, my phone number, and all the other things if you have any other links that you want to share. Instead of putting the entire URL, which in my opinion looks ugly, I'm gonna remove the www, like the first part. I'm gonna arrange this entire column towards the right, where you can, there's like a toolbar above where you can align it to the right side. And what you want to do is select this entire text and press Ctrl plus K, or you can find the tool here, that's insert link. You want to press that and paste the original like profile URL of your LinkedIn. So I do this because if I'm sending a soft copy, I want the recruiter to be able to click the link and go into my LinkedIn profile. I think that's more convenient. If it's your mail ID, you can just select the entire text and press Ctrl plus K and it will automatically detect that it is a mail ID. So that's pretty neat. I also have my own website, so I'm going to link that too. So that's pretty much it. There's like a lot more formatting to do, but I'm going to go into the next section, which is the education. Now I'm going to insert another table. So I'm going to go to insert table, and for this table I want 4 columns. The number of rows depends on how many institutes you have studied in. For me it's 3, so I'm going to select 3 rows. The first column will have degree slash grade. The next one will be institute, then score and duration. This is pretty self-explanatory. You just need to go through everything and add your education details. So I'm just going to fast forward a bit, okay? As you can see right now, I want another row. So you can just simply press tab and it will create a new row. Okay, I just filled in my education details. I know it looks pretty ugly, but don't worry, we are gonna smoothen out everything. First things first, I want these links to be black itself and not highlighted in blue. So I'm gonna select all those links and text color black. So that's more clean, and I don't want the underlined text. So I'm gonna remove the underline as well. Next, I want to change the font of my name to Roboto. I'm going to choose bold, and I'm going to change the size to something like 30. I don't want these borders in the heading, so I'm going to select the entire thing, like both rows, and you will see an option for table options here on the upper right corner. Select that and select color, and I'm going to change the table border to white. See, that's so much more cleaner. Now I want a slight background on the header, so I'm going to select everything again and go into background color on the top and select something like light bluish, I think. Yeah. So as you can see, there's a slight line on the table border. So I'm going to select that border. You can just see how the cursor change. Select that and you will see an option for border width. Select it and select 0 point. See, it's gone. Now that's pretty clean. Now since the top part is done, I'm going to make some changes to the education section. For example, I'm going to highlight the degree that I'm doing to bold. So that's Control B, or you can just select it and click the bold icon. So that's good. Now I want to highlight my scores as well. So just select it, Control B or bold. I'm going to do that for everything. This is the board of education that I studied in, but I don't want it to be as highlighted as the name of the school. So I'm going to select it and I'm going to change the color to something like gray. Okay, that's still visible but not that visible, if you get me. So I'm going to do that for the secondary education as well, and that's pretty good. Now let's go on to the third section where I need to insert another table. So I'm going to insert table and I need two columns. Okay, the first section will be technical skills and on the second column will be soft skills. So pretty self-explanatory. Technical skills are completely dependent on the field that you're making the resume for. So I would highly recommend just like assessing yourself and understanding what technical skills you can provide to the employer. So I'm going to go and fill something out. So these are some of the skills that I've added. Now you can just simply drag this column around. So in this column, the right section will be like for soft skills, languages, like not that important stuff, but you want it on the side. So I'm going to put it on the side. And again, I want to highlight the important points. So I'm going to bold all these topics. Under soft skills, I'm going to add some of my soft skills. Now what you want to do is just press enter. You could make another table, but I would suggest just sticking with this table. So I'm going to leave a few lines and write certifications. Okay, one disclaimer, I am a fourth year engineering student, so I don't have any formal work experience, but if you do, this will be the right spot to put it. If you have certifications and work experience, just put work experience first, then certifications. There's no perfect answer. You can just juggle things around and see what works for you. Okay, these are some of my certification. It looks really ugly, I know, and also Google automatically created a new page which you do not want. I would suggest sticking with a single page if you're a fresher especially. And I'm just gonna format it everything. So I'm gonna highlight Coursera and I have 4 Coursera certificates. So I'm gonna select all those certificates and give them a bulleting point, but it automatically added a lot more points than necessary. So I'm just gonna remove everything. Also, like the certification's name is Foundations of Project Management and it is published by Google, but I don't want Google, the name Google, to highlight as much as the title of the certification. So I'm going to select it and change the color to a gray tone. Yeah, that looks good. So I'm going to do this for all the other certificates. Select, change color to gray. Select this. You can just control click and select multiple things and change the color to gray. And yeah, that looks much cleaner. I'm going to do the same with my LinkedIn certifications. Okay, yeah, that looks pretty good. Now coming to this next column, I'm going to add hobbies. And I'm just going to type some of my hobbies. And I'm just going to press enter. Again, I'm not adding new tables. I'm just writing it in the same column. So next up, we have languages. That is the languages that I speak. So I've added English, Hindi, and Malayalam. Again, I don't want the full working proficiency to be as highlighted as the language. So I'm going to select all these 3 and make them gray. Okay. I think that looks much better and it's more pleasing to the eye in my opinion. So that's pretty much all the content that I want. Again, I don't want the table border. So I'm going to select everything. So the entire table, then you will see the table options, click on table border and click white. Okay. See, so much more cleaner. So I'm going to select all these headings because I want to highlight them even more. So education, technical skills, certifications, soft skills, hobbies. Or you don't have to select them all at once. You can do them individually, but to save time, I'm going to select everything and I'm going to bold it and I'm going to change the color to something that sticks with the theme. So I'm going to select something like dark blue. Okay, maybe a bit darker. Okay, that looks really good. That's it. Your resume is done. Now, if you want this in a PDF format, you can go to File and Download and select PDF and it will save a PDF with the name of the document that you started. A few more points that I wanted to mention was, apart from the title, which was our name, which we use the Roboto font, all the other font is simply Arial. It is the default font and it works pretty well. Secondly, I want you guys to remember where you save this resume in your Google Drive, because the resume is not a static document. As you gain experience, as you get new certifications, I want you guys to change the certifications with it and update your resume as you go. I think it will be really helpful and a good practice to follow. Finally, this resume isn't perfect, but I've given you guys the tools to work with. So I want you to go around, change the alignment, see what works for you, and I think you can come up with a really personalized resume. So that's it for the video. Hope it was helpful, and if possible, share it with other friends who are in need for a resume, and I will see you in the next one. See you.